I knew there was something on Friday morning is Thursday. You're going to get away this summer at all?
What do you want to say, 8 o'clock?
Yes, please.
Friday, May 2nd, 8 a.m.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, we got everybody at 1. Henry's up here. Oh, Henry? Henry's here. Okay, ready? 7 o'clock. We got Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the Southfield Common Council meeting, April 28th, 2014. At this time, we have Chaplain Bob Webster who will give us the invitation.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to meet together as a council of the city, Lord. We pray that you will look over each and every member here today. Father, that you will guide us and assist you accordingly, that you will allow us the wisdom and discernment to make the right choices for each person. Lord, grant us a great time. We thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
You may be seated. Clerk Floyd, would you please take the roll? Liza, yes, thank you. That was funny how that was turned. I understand, thank you. We're doing that.
Yeah. Mr. Scott, President. Mr. Henry Davis.
Henry's here.
Mrs. Shea. Here. Dr. Frost.
Here.
Dr. Bonner. Vice President Peter.
Present, Mr. Ford.
Mr. Furlish. Here. Councilmember White. Present. President Oliver Davis.
Present.
Diane President.
Thank you. Now could you please read the report from the subcommittee on minutes?
The Common Council of the City of South Bend, the subcommittee has inspected the minutes of the April 28, 2014 meeting of the council and found them to be correct. Therefore, we recommend the same be approved. Signed, Oliver Davis, David Warner.
Thank you.
Make a motion to accept the subcommittee reports on minutes.
So moved. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same side. It is carried. Thank you. Now we need to have a special motion before we move forward. We need to have a motion to change the Common Council meeting that's scheduled for May the 26th, 2014, which is a Memorial Day, to that following Wednesday, May 28th, 2014.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, the same sign. It is now carried. So please make that note that meeting for our next meeting, well, it'll be a couple of meetings from now, May 28th on a Wednesday. And that would be at the same time? Yes. That 7 o'clock in the afternoon and start at 3:30. Now we will hear Resolution 1439. Yes.
There are 2 bills that are continued over, or 1 for sure. Should there be an announcement?
That is correct. Pardon?
Yeah, I think that would be.
Okay, that's fine. For those of you who may be here to hear Bill number 1714, that's a public hearing on the bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, amending Chapter 5 of the South Bend Municipal Code in its entirety and replacing it with a new Chapter 5 entitled Responsible Animal and Pet Ownership, Care, and Control Regulations. If you're here for that, that will be having its second or third reading on May the 28th. It will not be held tonight. So if any of you did not get that notice earlier, we apologize, but that will be held on 5/28. So please act accordingly. Now, what was the other one? Anything else?
The gentleman from the ISB Otley vacate.
He has.
I have not seen him.
You need. No, he's moving for tonight.
He's here.
He's moving for tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Seeing that there's nothing else, we're going to proceed as outlined in our agenda. And City Clerk Vorty, could you please read Resolution 1439?
A resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend publicly commending or honoring the late Jeffrey V. Gibney for his many dedicated services as Director of the city's Department of Community and Economic Development from 2007 through 2011.
Thank you, Mr. Vorty. Now, Vice President Beer.
Thank you. I'd like people from the Jeff Gibney family, everybody else that's supporting him, come on up. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, publicly commending and honoring the late Jeffrey V. Gibney for his many dedicated services as Director of the City's Department of Community and Economic Development from 2007 to 2011. Whereas Jeff Gibney was a very creative and dedicated leader in urban renewal and was known by many as a person who dedicated his time and multifaceted talents to carry out these visions. And whereas Jeff was the director of the South Bend Heritage Foundation, which worked to revitalize neglected and worn areas of the near west side of South Bend, turned the downtown Robertson's department store into vibrant senior housing apartments, built the Sister Maura Brannick Health Center and the shopping center at Chapin Street in Weston, managed the Northeast Neighborhood Revitalization Organization, which helped foster the Eddy Street Commons development and construction of new homes in that area, just to name it. In 2007, Jeff was named by Mayor Lickey to be the director of the Department of Community and Economic Development, and immediately he engaged and involved neighborhood residents into many projects, some of which resulted in keeping more than 1,000 jobs in downtown South Bend, by keeping First Source Bank and the First Source Center as an economic hub, building a new entrance to the South Bend Minor League Ballpark, playing a pivotal role on projects such as the Cross Center and the building of the new Fire Station 2, the relocation of building of the new Studebaker Museum, and one of his favorite transformation of the block at Washington Walnut into the West Washington Homes. Rehabilitation of the Dunbar Corner, breathing new life into the Natatorium and the Hansel Center, as well as the Charles Martin Youth Center. Whereas Jeff Gibney never lost sight of many lessons he learned at Central High School, especially those he learned from his mentor and friend Charles Martin. Therefore, Section 1, the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana publicly commends and honors the rich life and legacy of Jeffrey Gibney for the countless contributions which he made to our city, and especially those which continue to be a positive impact on our city today as a result of his passion, his skill, and dedication as Director of the Department of Community and Economic Development. Section 2, the Council extends its sympathy to the many family and friends of Jeff Gibney, especially his daughter Maggie, Bill Weeks, Greg Mueller, and his brothers Greg, David, and John. The city is a better place today because of Jeff's many talents and dedication to rebuilding and revitalizing this community. Section 3, the resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its adoption by this council and approved by Deputy Mayor Mark Neal. Yesterday there was a ceremony I had the honor of speaking at the Pratt Center where hundreds of people came out and talked about the relationships, talked about what Jeff meant in their lives, especially what he did for this community. I don't think that many people can come out and show the love and admiration and the respect that the things that he did, which are countless. And I put him up there with the Studebakers, the Albers, the Bertzels for helping develop this community, and he did as much, if not more, from the founding fathers of the city to put it into a place where we're at today. So, knowing the Gibney family forever from the northwest side of town, knowing Jeff, the things that he accomplished, especially when they came to the police department and asked that Washington Wall be undertaken to be cleaned up. So we did arrest the way out of that problem, and hence the great developments and the great things that go on there. So he was a fantastic person, a great friendship, and I would like to have any of Maggie, if you would like to speak, and then we'll turn it back to the council.
I'd just like to thank everybody in this community for being such a great, everyone here is a great asset. My dad was so proud to be a part of a team like this, and that I could be a part of this. So carry on the legacy and everybody continue to do great, beautiful things for the community, just like my dad did. Thank you very much. I appreciate this so much.
Okay, and I would ask for a favorable recommendation to return it over to the public.
Does anybody else want to say anything else from back there in the crowd? Or?
Come on. Put it up with that.
I just want to say that I worked with Jeff Gibson for over 25 years in the community. And Jeff was a creative person. I don't know that there'll ever be another Jeff Gibson. He had courage, and he could stand for things that these people in our community would not stand. He would also, he was very diverse. He loved all human beings, regardless of place, color, creed, religious differences, or anything. Jeff gave his heart to the community, he gave his love and his passion for South Bend. And I'm happy to have worked with Jeff for all of these years.
Thank you.
Major Bob Webster, Senior Cop Officer for the Southeast County 900 West West. I want to personally thank publicly the legacy of Jeff Gibney, because I believe that Jeff was a champion of the process from the South End. His passion, his love for this community, that the way was paid for us to be able to be a hub here in our West End. So thanks, Jeff, and carry on.
All right.
I'm Pam Meyer, and I work with the Department of Community Investment. I have known Jeff Gibney for 25 to 30 years. He was one of the first people I met when I moved here and started working for the city. I probably have never worked on an activity or a project with one of our related organizations that didn't somehow interact with South Bend Heritage and some of the work that Jeff has done. And then after being a friend of his and working as a colleague, became one of his staff people, which was an interesting transition, but one we both enjoyed, I think. And I would just like to say on behalf of all of the colleagues that worked for him that we had a good time, had a change in our office physically, and the look and the colors and the artwork and the other things that he provided to us, but he also clearly was a person who shared his opinions, listened to others, forged ahead in the decisions that he thought were appropriate, and helped to lead our department as many of the other leaders that we have had and currently have. And so we appreciate having had that opportunity, and I personally appreciate having known him, having raised him. The city is at a great loss because of his passing.
Thank you. Before we, from the council, let's let the start with Councilman Tim Scott and work our way over.
Maggie, Bill, and family. I didn't know Jeff as well as my wife knew Jeff. And Russ, Muhammad, and Pam Myers know this. My wife, Karen Ainsley, is the director of the Near Northwest Neighborhood Association. Did similar work to what Jeff has done in South Bend Heritage. And Jeff was such an influence. It was incredible. Yesterday was incredible. It was a celebration of Jeff's life. My wife cried her eyes out. It was a lot. We got home that night and we talked about how great Jeff was and what he meant to us. And you know, there was a saying, you know, what would Jesus do? We kind of replaced it with what would Jeff do? And we actually talked about that. And there are so many things that we're going to take from Jeff and apply to our life and try to apply to everybody that we can influence. So a lot of the stuff we do on council here comes from what Jeff has started, and we truly appreciate him. He will live long, long after this. So thank you so much.
My condolences to you and your family, Maggie. I would just continue to pray for your strength throughout this ordeal. I know it's going to be difficult because it's your father. I would say I just lost my father not long ago, so it's an ongoing thing. So my prayers are with you and your family.
I had the opportunity to get to know your father both before I was on council as well as the short time I've been on council, and he was a wonderful man and really just a vibrant individual. So my thoughts and prayers are with you and your family at this time.
3 words to describe Jeff: outspoken, courageous, and kind. And I'll always have great memories of him.
Maggie, I had a good time with your father. We had lunch and breakfast together many times. And he helped shape a lot of my ideas that I've had here on the council. And there's songs that let the life that I live speak for me. And his life speaks for him, no matter if he's not with us presently, but it continues to speak every time we drive throughout the city. And it speaks through you too. And so I really like to continue to keep you in our thoughts and prayers, and I'm very, very grateful to have had your father in our lives.
Probably the briefest, but the more interesting discussions I had with your father at one time was one where we didn't agree on a whole lot. And about 2 weeks later, at a redevelopment meeting, he came up to me and said, you know, Dave, I was thinking about what you said, and I think you might be right about that. And there aren't too many people that can do that sort of thing. Your father was one of those. And I appreciate his willingness to come back and further discussion, and I think it speaks a lot, says a lot about him. And I think that's probably what I admire the most.
To the Gibney family, thank you for what you guys have done for our city.
To Maggie and to Jeff's family, I wish to thank you for sharing your dad and your brother with us. I had the pleasure of working with Jeff many years, and I was struck by his vision, his courage, and his commitment to work his vision in spite of. I can recall walking down what was called a block, and now to see the West Washington homes, and that was because your dad had a commitment to equity, and he had a commitment to make sure that change was going to come, and I appreciate that, and will continue to uphold you in my prayers.
Thank you.
Move that we adopt this by acclamation.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. It is carried.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Alrighty. Clerk Woody, could you please read Resolution 1440?
The resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, publicly commending IUSB Professor Elizabeth Benyon, who serves our community through her excellence in teaching, student-faculty interaction, and collaboration in lifelong learning.
Thank you. Councilwoman Shea.
I would like to present to you a very special resolution tonight. Before I was a member of council, I had the opportunity to debate in the candidate debate. And let me just say that it's a daunting process for somebody who has never done that kind of thing before. But I am so grateful because the moderator for the debate while I was a candidate was Dr. Benyon. And I respect Dr. Benyon's work so much that this is a personal resolution that I present to you all. So I present to you, as John Forty said, a resolution honoring Dr. Elizabeth Benyon. Whereas American journalist Jim Lehrer once said, if we don't have an informed electorate, we don't have democracy. The truth is that democracy can only exist when the citizens of a democratic state are willing and able to take an active role in their government. Whereas Indiana University South Bend is a comprehensive undergraduate and postgraduate campus that serves the community through its excellence in teaching, student-faculty interaction, research and creative activity, diversity and inclusivity, a global perspective, and collaboration and lifelong learning. And whereas the Common Council recognizes that through the efforts of members of the South Bend faculty, many work to develop engaged citizens who are prepared to build strong communities. And whereas IU South Bend political science professor Elizabeth Benyon is an exceptional example of her excellence in teaching, student-faculty interaction, and collaboration and lifelong learning as evidenced by her long list of accolades and awards, including such high honors as the 2011 Eldon F. Lundquist Award, which honors excellence in teaching and community service, the 2009 W. George Chenell Award for Outstanding Service, which honors exceptional service and/or certificate extending over a period of at least 5 years, several years. 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2008, and 2009, American Political Science Association Pi Sigma Alpha Teaching Award. Again, the 2003, the 2004, the 2005, the 2006, the 2008, and 2009 Indiana University Trustees Teaching Award. The 2004 selection to IU Faculty Collegium on Excellence in Teaching Award, and the 2002 Who's Who Among America's Teachers. Whereas Dr. Benyon is known for being very actively involved on many campus committees, with some of her leadership positions being the campus director of the American Democracy Project, the coordinator for the America Studies program, and is the advisor of the Political Science Club, while also conducting extensive research on a variety of topics, teaching, having many of her articles published in the Political Research Quarterly, the Indiana Journal of Political Science, and the Indiana University Press, just to name a few, as well as the many research grants which she has received. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, as follows. The Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, honors IU South Bend political science professor Elizabeth Benyon for her dedication and commitment to excellence in teaching, her many community service projects, and a special thanks to you for being the moderator of the many town hall meetings recently held on the proposed animal care and control ordinance for the City of South Bend. Section 2, the South Bend Common Council is proud to recognize that Dr. Benyon believes in being the change that you want to see in the world, and is leading by example of this belief and making a difference. Section 3, this resolution shall be in full force and effect after its adoption by the Council and approval by the Mayor. I present to you this resolution. And if I may, Dr. Benyon, would you like to? Thank you very much. I was very surprised when Valerie told me about this resolution. I'm extremely honored and humbled. I want to thank first the members of the council. I think 8 of you in this room have participated in either a family forum or some kind of a public forum that I moderated, and I absolutely admire your willingness to stand for office and to go into public service. I know it's a lot of work for very little financial compensation, and so I know you do this for love of the city. Also, I'd like to thank my colleagues at IU South Bend, Chancellor Terry Allison, Vice Chancellor John McIntosh, the entire academic cabinet, and my faculty colleagues, all who have been extremely supportive of my work both on campus and with the community. I also want to thank to Alfred Guillaume, the former or now retired Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, who really supported my civic engagement proclivities during the 14 years that we spent on campus together before his retirement, and our new dean, Elizabeth Dunn, who has sort of picked up that role as champion of community outreach for our IU South Bend faculty. Angel Hernandez is here tonight, Vice President of Production for WNIT. I want to thank him for giving me the opportunity to host Politically Speaking, to continue that civic engagement work for our larger 22 county audience. It's a wonderful opportunity. Some of you have actually been on that program, and Chancellor Allison will appear next week. It's a great way to continue that public outreach, and I appreciate his work and the work of my producer, Jeannie O'Meara, who lines up great guests for us. There are many members of the League of Women Voters of the South Bend area here today. I want to thank all of them. They've been a fantastic community partner for the American Democracy Project. We host a lot of forums and debates together, and they have always supported and encouraged me in this kind of work. And then my students, several of whom are actually here tonight, students in my courses, who continue to challenge me to think hard and to be a role model, and to continue to inspire them to do community-based service and research. Last and certainly not least, I'd like to thank my family. My mother and father, Don and Jean Bennion, are here today. My mother was actively involved in the league growing up, and she also always brought us to the polls, which I think is incredibly important. As children, we were always dragged along on election day, and then began to look forward to it. And my father was part of many civic associations, and always made sure there were political discussions around the home. My husband and children are here. All 3 of my children have been to many meetings, civic meetings, and forums. And I appreciate my husband, who takes up the slack around the house when I'm out moderating things in the evenings and on the weekends. I feel really blessed to be able to do work that I love, and the South Bend community has been so supportive in working with me on this work. There's been a lot of community organizations who have partnered with me. I love South Bend. I love this work, and I feel just so grateful. I'm thankful to Councilwoman Shea and to all of you for the work that you do, and for everybody who came to support me this evening. Thank you.
Allison, Chancellor at Indiana University at South Bend. I just would like to say I recently had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Bennion Ocean Trials, full professor, and she has recently become a full professor at the university. The American Association of Colleges and Universities have identified civic engagement as one of high learning practices that universities can have. And Dr. Bennion has certainly been instrumental in our campus engaging students. You see students here this evening. They're engaged throughout the community. As you may know, 70% of our students who graduate from IU South Bend stay in this region. So she is helping to produce engaged citizens throughout South Bend and our surrounding region, certainly other cities and townships. So thank you, Dr. Bennion, for your outstanding work. You're a wonderful example of the faculty at IU South Bend.
Thank you, council members. My name is Angel Hernandez. I'm Vice President of Production for WNIT. Dr. Bennion is the host of Politically Speaking, which airs on Sundays at 2 p.m. live. And one of the things that I just wanted to say, when I received a retirement notice from the former host of the show, You're torn between, is this a good thing or is this an opportunity? I saw it as an opportunity to be able to get someone in that hosting position that was engaged with the community, had youth connections, and was able to really connect the community with and engage them in all kinds of civic and cultural situations that occur in our community. I had met Dr. Benyon on various other debates and I was impressed with her, and I felt she was the person that could really make this happen. So we engaged, but you have to always open it up for other possibilities and see who else is out there that can do something like this. So we engaged the community, and in particular, some of the professors at Notre Dame who were friends of ours and in connection with the station. So I had put out the name already of Dr. Benyon within the station itself, not outside of the community, but within the management team at the station. Well, one of my associates, it has a very, very good connection with political, the poli-science department at the university. So he asked this person if he could kind of do a survey with the professors of the university and see if they could come up with somebody that could be the host of Politically Speaking. Well, about a week later, the person came back to me and basically said, we scoured all of our professors and we vetted some of them. We think that the best person for this job is Dr. Elizabeth Benyon. So with that, not only did he prove me right, but also this proclamation makes it all the more worthwhile. I'd like to thank Dr. Benyon for her contribution to our community, for all the good things that she does, making WNIT a better station, more in touch with our viewers, and just for all the good things that she brings to the team, especially being able to use our students in a very good and constructive way, and getting them into the process of not only television production, but civic service. Thank you.
Thank you. Can all of our family please stand? Dr. Behn's family, she has a lot of family here tonight.
Dr. Behn's family, please stand.
Let's give them a
Thank you very much. Council, before I ask for a motion, starting with Councilwoman White,
Thank you so much. Before I give my comments, I would ask the President if any IU faculty and staff members are here, if they would choose, if they'd be willing to stand to show their support for Dr. Benyon. I've had the pleasure to not only know Elizabeth, Dr. Benyon, but also to work with her very closely. I've had the opportunity to be on the other side when she was moderating, and she is fair, she's tough, she asks those questions, which really makes the civic engagement process so much better. I appreciate not only you as a faculty member, but your commitment to excellence and your teaching of our students. But just as important, your commitment to this community. It's work well deserved, and you've done an excellent job. And I'm proud to know you and to call you a colleague.
Just thank you, Dr. Benyon, for what you do for South Bend. I have a few friends with younger siblings who attend Indiana University South Bend, and whenever I ask them about coursework or this and that, literally, you are the professor they always talk about. So thank you for what you're doing for them.
Thank you for all the hard work, and thank you for being at IUSB. I can say that as a proud graduate of 1977 in criminal justice, so I appreciate all the work that you guys are doing over there. Thank you.
Thank you for your efforts, and congratulations.
Thank you for being here. Again, I enjoyed being with your program. few months ago. We came and talked, and so we had a wonderful night with you, and I really appreciate when faculty members get involved in the community, and you certainly do that. So thank you, and everybody who came. Thank you, Chancellor. It was nice to meet with you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I enjoy politically speaking. It's great for public discourse, and thank you for your efforts in bringing it to the community.
I also watch the show, and I also call in every now and again. And I always want to say, again, thank you for your commitment and congratulations.
Doctor, thank you for your service.
Okay. Thank you.
Council, I have a motion.
Motion to adopt. Second.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, so it is clear. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for the presentation.
Congratulations.
Did you win something? No, I just wanted to say
You told me you were right. Now you're finally right.
I gotta read this one.
I did see it.
Janice, can you grab my pen?
14, check it out. Supervisor Ward, could you read the next resolution?
1448, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, declaring May 5th through May 9th, 2014 as Opportunity Youth Week in South Bend.
Thank you so much. Oliver Davis, 1801 Mass Street. Here's the resolution that was just read. A resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, declaring May 5th to May 9th, 2014 as Opportunity Youth Week in South Bend, Indiana. Whereas out of school gas specialists are employed by the Northern Indiana Workforce Board to serve drop-out youth ages 16 to 21 to enable them to reach their full potential. And whereas out-of-school gas specialists are actively committed to assisting dropout youth with their ability, strength, interests, and talents as these traits relate to their career awareness and development. And whereas out-of-school gas specialists assist dropout youth with focus on attainment of their high school equivalency diploma and to further the educational, personal, and social growth of their families and communities. And whereas out-of-school JACs work with teachers, other educators, community partners, all different invested parties to help dropout youth explore potential and set realistic goals for themselves. Whereas out-of-school JACs specialists seek to identify and utilize community resources that can enhance the policy accomplishment of personal and professional development of dropout youth to become productive members of society. And whereas out-of-school JACs specialists work diligently with dropout youth to ensure that they attain the soft, social, technical, and personal skills needed to be workforce ready in the 21st century. All considered an important part of the educational workforce development process, successfully transitioning into adulthood. Now therefore be resolved by the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana as follows. Section 1. The Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana publicly acknowledges the work, dedication, and commitment of the Northern Indiana Workforce Board who employ out-of-school JACs specialists work closely with youth ages 16 to 29 who have dropped out of school. Section 2. The South Bend Common Council hereby declares May 5 through May 9, 2014 as Opportunity Youth Week in South Bend, Indiana. Encourages all individuals to continue to help dropout youth explore the potential and help them to obtain their goals. And Section 3, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its adoption by the council and approved by the mayor. This time I'll ask the to come and speak.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the council. I'd like to say thank you first and foremost for choosing to do this because it is a choice. Just want to share some statistics with you. Up to the year 2012, there were 6.4 million youth between the ages of 16 to 24 who have neither GED, high school diploma, or unemployed. using some statistics from the Alliance for Excellence in Education between the cities of South Bend and Mishawaka. For the graduating class of 2012, 1,100 youth from Town High School. That's a 4-year cohort. And that's one of the last statistics that I have that are reasonable to share. What we do is not something that can't be avoided. The discussion about education, high school graduation rates and dropout rates, we have to move it into the direction of workforce development and preparation for what's coming. As a matter of fact, what's here. I'd like to say thank you to Councilman. I need to apologize if you hear an accent and hear 20 years of living in London. I'm transitioning to learning to drive on the wrong side of the road with an accent. So my congressman and my councilman will get the councilman already. But all I want to say is this: it's important that we know what the problems are. But we're not just about talking about the problem, because it's easy to talk about a problem. What we have developed and worked on, particularly through the Northern Indiana Workforce Board, are solutions that are transitioning our youth between ages of 16 to 21 to successful education and career development. We're not just interested in getting a high school diploma or GED simply because that's just half of the job. I'd like to say thank you to all those who work with me, particularly my colleague here, my wife, Sally Williams. She's responsible for the St. Joe County area. And I'd like all of you, as far as it's possible, to join us for our second walk trip to the May 8th between 11 and 1. We'll be starting here at the City Council building, where we will demonstrate awareness of the problem and come and support us as we engage in providing solutions to the problem. Thank you very much.
I'd like to say thank you to the City of South Bend for this proclamation. It means a great deal to us. My students, I have the privilege of working with the 16 to 21-year-olds on a weekly basis, and they are very excited about this as well, because finally people are recognizing that they are, you know, very, very upstanding citizens of the St. Joe County area, and that they can be. Just because they got to the high school does not mean that they are less. We need to know that. And so that's part of our job too, is to build confidence and to build self-esteem, as well as career development and all those things that our DAD program offers. So we do want to say thank you very much to Councilman Davis, and thank you to all of you for your support.
Thank you. I turn it over to the council for any comments.
Just thank you for what you do. This is filling a void that is desperately needed.
Thank you for what you do as well. If you guys will have a seat, we'll be actually talking about this very issue a little later on within the council's meeting and how we can probably provide solutions. So we're right there with you. We really are. And thank you for your commitment.
Thank you. I echo my colleagues' sentiments. Very, very important work that you do.
Thank you. What was that statistic you quoted? The one Mishawaka, South Bend?
Mishawaka, South Bend, because the only statistics from the Alliance for Excellence in Education. There are approximately 1,100 students dropped out of the graduating class of 2012.
Wow.
That's a 4-year cohort.
Thank you very much.
Keep after it. It's a tough job. Glad someone's looking at it. Good luck.
Well, thank you very much. I will be getting in contact with you. The council will be going on the road to different areas of South Bend and talking to everybody about a lot of things. One of the things I'm sure some of the teenagers out there, so I'll get with you just to get some other information that we can pass along when we're out there. So thank you for your work.
Thank you for what you're doing for our city. Appreciate it.
Everyone has said thank you. I want to add my words of thanks as well. Just really appreciate you sharing those statistics. I'm sorry. A lot of times, you know, people don't believe what they hear, but those numbers are very troublesome. And indeed, we have a lot of work to do in this community to address not only the dropout, but those students who are pushed out as well. So we really appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Will we adopt this by acclamation? Second.
All in favor?
Kathy.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you so much. Very important work.
Oh my God.
No, that's okay.
That's a dangerous number. I told him it's a dangerous number.
Oh, we have one more thing. We have Mark. Yeah. Okay. My agenda, I almost forgot it. I know. Representing the city administration, we have really two, Captain Luce, and we have the Deputy Mayor, who's now going to come up, and Deputy Mayor Mark Neal, to bring us some thoughts. Maybe all our thoughts.
Thank you, Council President Davis, Council. Just a couple of things I wanted to highlight, more than you're aware of, as soon as we were talking about here this evening. First, last week, as you all know, we culminated the first phase of planning of our work on the Lincoln Way, West and Western Avenue corridors with a series of community meetings and focus groups. As this is a chance, we all want to talk about chance to reimagine the city gateways and surrounding neighborhoods. $2 million in the 2013 budget that we approved is critical to move this effort forward. We'll be continuing work on the plans. I'm convinced, though, with Scott Ford's leadership and community investments and working with his team, that we'll be moving forward on a number of aspects of that plan here in the summer. From that larger plan and then progress. Thank you very much for your work on that and supporting the evidence. Secondly, last week the SMART program graduated the first class of 12 students. I joined Council President Albert Davis at the graduation last week. SMART is against for supporting manufacturers and regional talent. This is a workforce initiative which is the result of collaboration between the cities of South Bend and Mishawaka, as well as St. Joseph County Chamber of Commerce, Ivy Tech Community College, Work One, and a number of local businesses. The purpose this year is to train 48 people to participate in 4 12-week sessions to achieve their Certified Production Technician certification. I was pleased with the 12 graduates last week from Councilmember President Davis and I were able to more than 60 hours to top officers. So we're excited about the start of that program. The second class has just begun this week. The third class, which will be this summer, is already filled up. So pleased to see we're seeing success in the program, that training program, and employers are anxious to get these folks out, so appreciate your support on that. Third, to note the plastic bag ban that was approved and requested last year as we looked at the resolutions and organic resources. I want to continue to promote that effort that we are assisting people use paper bags or containers that will contain less than 35 pounds of yard waste and empty as part of the yard waste program in 2014, and also that people may have a bin for $16 per year to have regular 96-gallon bin to put their yard waste into. And then when that as the yard waste kicks off today. Additionally, I want to highlight the Washington State program. We are going to reduce the number of public works and water waste down to about 2,700 automated meters still need to be installed in residents around the city. We're urging residents, property owners to contact 311 to schedule a meter swap out. We'll ultimately, as we've been working on this for almost 2 years now, we need to be noting folks who have to turn off the water. Continue pushing getting that accomplished. I like that. Make us more efficient in our water operation. Finally, just want to thank the council for the earlier briefings today with requested on long-term control plan, combined sewer overflow. Appreciate the opportunity to continue the dialogue on that, to go through visit that plan, Councilman Jay, Councilman Runner, discussions on that. In addition, I was pleased that Scottsville was able to give an update on the recent legislation regarding tax financing, as well as an update on tax payments and successful sale of 2013 use of cars investment here in the city in 2014.
Thank you. Are there any questions, comments? Yes.
Could you check, I sent a message regarding leaf pickup and trash pickup, actually leaf pickup on the south side from Marshall School to Ironwood, south of Byron. And that was supposed to be picked up today, and I got bombed on calls that it is not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Councilman Davis.
Yes, sir. I have some of the same issues as well over in the district, especially with yard waste. There's a ton of yard waste that has not been picked up on the west side. Not at all, actually. My own yard waste has not been picked up. So, yeah.
So the official pick was beginning today, but there was some free pickup that taking place that was not direct, but appreciate you noting that. For all districts, we should see significant parks and garbage pickups this week. We ask you and members of the residents to call 311 if there are any issues. We want to be responsive.
And just want to mention another note. We keep saying $2 million for Western Avenue and Lincoln Way. It should be 2.3. That should have been allocated and voted upon, if I remember correctly. So I don't want us to forget the $300,000 that may pay for the consultants.
You may be thinking the $300,000 related to the NAD construction programs there.
No, sir. I'm talking about the Lincoln Way and Western Avenue corridor project.
I'll confirm about that.
Yeah.
We definitely looking to use all the funds this year that will appropriate or agree to this budget to address the state.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All righty. Motion to resolve into the committee of the whole.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Let's go.
The Committee of the Whole is now in session. This is the portion of the council meeting where the council sits as a committee. Proposed ordinances are read by title only by City Clerk John Vorty. Reports are then verbally given by the chairperson of the council standing committee to which the proposed ordinance was sent for an advisory review and recommendation. If the proposed ordinance is a zoning ordinance, a report from a staff member of the area plan will be given. In all other situations, the formal presentation on the proposed ordinance will immediately follow the committee report and then formal presentation followed by a public hearing. We ask that everyone turn their cell phones and other electronic devices off during the remainder of the meeting. Additional rules governing the Committee of the Whole are set forth in the brochure that's available on the table by the doors. I now ask Clerk John Vorty to read Bill 2214.
Public hearing on a bill to vacate the following described property. The alley to be vacated is the first east-west alley south of Vine Street from the east right-of-way of 20th Street east to the first north-south alley for a distance of 133.5 feet and a width of 14 feet.
Thank you, Clerk Vorty. The Public Works and Property Vacation Committee met earlier. May I have the committee's report?
We met earlier. We sent 2214 with no recommendation.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. Do I have a presenter for Bill 2214? Please come to the podium. State your name and address, sir.
My name is Brian Mall of American Construction Point. I live at 2103 Bechtel Avenue in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm here to represent Magnet Companies tonight to ask for approval for the vacation of the alley as mentioned previously. In the committee meeting this afternoon, we did speak about this, and one of the main issues that was posed on the last committee meeting was the access to 21st Street being closed off in order to prevent overflow parking onto the residential streets. We have made that change in our plans. An additional request was made to have a conversation essentially with IUSB on their approval or opposing of the alley being vacated. We have had some recent events this afternoon. I believe Doug Merritt, our permit expediter, actually emailed Councilman Shea about that. We have made multiple requests to the community liaison at IUSB for approval or denial of vacation of the alley, and we did not hear back from them in the past 3 weeks. This alley vacation hinges upon other aspects of the project moving forward, such as the next aspect of Lot 24 being rezoned. By that rezone occurring, we're actually going to add additional parking and more green space to our development, which will help the overflow parking onto the residential streets. So we would ask for a conditional approval of this vacation, and we will get that letter from IUSB within the next few weeks. We also want to point out that we've had 2 committee meetings thus far. IUSB has not participated in either one of those, and they have received public notice prior to those meetings, nor I don't believe that there's anyone represented here from IUSB tonight opposing the vacation of this alley. So we would ask for a additional approval of this alley vacation.
Thank you, sir. I will start with questions to my right. Council, are there any questions for Mr. Moe?
No.
Yes, President Davis.
Could you share about the letter? He got it today, this afternoon?
You emailed me a letter this afternoon?
Not the letter. We emailed you that we've had multiple communication efforts with the community liaison and IUSB, and we have not received any word back from them. We will continue to ask for that. At this point, we're kind of at our wit's end. If they haven't replied to either of the committee meetings or our request for approval or denial, we're kind of stuck at this point.
Was it Ken Byro?
It's the community liaison director at IUSB here locally.
Ken.
I don't have he or her name in front of me.
Conditional approvals, all right.
Well, and I also know that Mr. Merritt is also going to create additional parking. Is he not going to purchase that property immediately and level?
Lot 24?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are in the process of that.
Yeah.
That purchase and rezone, which is going to be coming up next month.
Good. I think that'll be a positive. Councilman Furlick?
Sure. So, to this point, have you received any feedback, positive or negative, regarding the alley vacation?
Sure.
Okay. And I remember in the committee meeting you made reference to the possibility of not having enough parking, and that might be one objection, but this actually, alley vacation increases parking.
It does, not only for that, but then the next stage of the rezone of the lot just north of our development, which is currently a residential home that we're demolishing and adding green space and parking to that. So the development now, we're not adding any square footage to the development, so we're not really adding any additional units or anything to the apartment complexes, but we're only adding more parking to what's there currently.
Thank you. Councilman Dieter?
To clarify, you said you've had conversations, but that hasn't been that's been an email inquiry.
Communication.
So there's never been any...
No, I think I misspoke in the committee meeting. I was told that there was communication that had been had, but I didn't realize it was one-way communication.
Okay. So how long has the one-way communication been in effect?
Since our last committee meeting, about a month ago. Since we were asked by the council to the committee.
So how many inquiries did you guys...
There's been at least one phone call and 2 emails that have not been responded to.
Okay. All right.
It's not unusual for us to make a conditional circumstance under this, so I would think that would be an acceptable, to keep things moving along, and if something blows up later, we could still deal with it.
No, there's no problem. Thank you. I will now open it to the public, so thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here wishing to speak in favor of Bill 2214? If so, please come to the podium, share your name and address. Seeing no one, is there anyone here wishing to speak in opposition to Bill 2214?
Oh my God.
Yes, my name is Dave Wilson. I live at 1109 Tony First Street. I'm exactly 2 homes from that alley. And my biggest concern is, I've lived there for 45 years, and I would like to see the west end of the alley, I don't have a problem closing the alley off, but I would like to see the alley toward IU stay open and the one on 21st Street, because when you come out of that alley on 21st Street, there's always cars parked right where that alley is, and there's cars on the other side of the street, and you can probably make that turn on 21st Street, where IUSP, no parking on the west side of the street at all. So when you come out of the alley on the west side of the thing, you can make the turn easier, other than the fact of all the traffic from IU coming down the street, but you can get out, and you can go north and south from the alley out of this parking lot. So I'd like to see the other end closed off, or my end closed off, which would be the 21st Street closed off, and let the other end stay open.
And Mr. Wilson, I believe that's what Mr. Moore is suggesting.
Yeah, I couldn't quite understand. Yeah, we're closing the alley off at 21st Street, so there'll be no ingress egress from that line.
Thank you. Thank you, Council.
Sure, you're welcome. Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak in opposition to Bill 2214? If so, please come to the podium. Seeing no one, I bring this bill back to the council.
I move that 2214 go to full council with favorable recommendation.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill 2214 will go to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you very much.
Next item on the agenda is Bill 1714. A substitute bill was submitted for this.
In light of the legal advertising that must take place, joint motion, which would be to accept substitute bill 1714 on file with the city clerk, and to reset that substitute bill for public hearing at the 28th meeting and send that to the public safety.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Substitute Bill 1714 will be receive a second and a third hearing on May 28th. The next bill is Bill 2614. Clerk Bordy, would you please read that bill?
Public hearing on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending Chapter 9, Article 5 of the South Bend Municipal Code by including new Section 9-30, entitled Limited Fee Exemptions for Emergencies Involving Local Units of Government Governed by Mutual Aid Agreement.
Thank you. The Health and Public Safety Committee met earlier today, and Councilman Dieter, what is the committee report?
Well, at this meeting about 4 o'clock today, we discussed both the pros and cons, and we're sending to this full council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Do I have a presenter?
Good evening. My name is Jim Lopez. I'm the operations chief of the South Fire Department, 1222 South Michigan Street, South Indiana. What we'd like to do is change the ordinance so if we respond outside of St. Joe County to St. Joe, Elkhart, Stark, Marshall, Kosciuszko, Gloucester, and Fulton County, if we go there on a declared disaster, we would not charge any of the municipalities for work that we would do.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Council, to my right, are there any questions?
I have one question.
Councilman, President Davis?
Does FEMA take care of any of that?
No, you have to apply for FEMA funding if there is a disaster.
You have to apply for that after it's declared?
The county would have to apply, or the state would have to apply for their own funding.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
To my left, any questions?
No, ma'am. Negative.
No. Okay. Thank you, sir. We'll open it to the public now. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor of Bill 2614? If so, please come to the podium, state your name and address. Anyone in favor? Seeing no one. Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to Bill 2614? If so, please come to the podium, state your name and address. Seeing no one, I bring Bill 2614 back to the council. Council, what is your pleasure?
Recommendation.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill 2614 goes to the full council with a favorable recommendation. Bill 2914, Clerk Vorty, please read that bill.
Public hearing on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, authorizing various city departments to accept payments by certain financial instruments, including bank card and credit card, and to authorize fee and establish procedures for such usage.
Thank you. The Personnel and Finance Committee met earlier. We send this bill with a favorable recommendation. Do we have a presenter?
John Murphy, City Controller with Office of Agricultural Board. This ordinance authorizes payment of city business services to financial institutions, like credit cards, debit cards, and so forth. This codifies the practice that we already have in place for a number of years. We've accepted credit cards in many of our departments. Study as of for 2013, we accepted 155,043 transactions, about $9.7 million. Primarily online payments for golf course donation box. Volume that primarily that concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
Council, to my left, any questions? No? To my right, any questions? Seeing none. Oh, I'm sorry, President Davis?
You said earlier that you were going to check with the building department and the board that has to approve that to see if they can accept credit cards in the future?
Yeah.
I appreciate that and getting a report back on that to the council. Thank you, sir.
Any questions? I see none. We'll turn it to the public now. Thank you. We invite anybody from the public wishing to speak in favor of Bill 2914 to come to the podium and share your thoughts. Seeing no one, is there anyone from the public wishing to speak in opposition to Bill 2914? Please come to the podium. Seeing no one, I bring Bill 2914 back to the council. Council, what is your pleasure?
Move for passage of favorable recommendation of 2914.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill 2914 goes to the full council with a favorable recommendation. I ask for a motion to rise and report to the council.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Full council is back in session, and we'd like to ask City Clerk John Woody to please read Bill 2214.
Third reading on a bill to vacate the following described property. The alley to be vacated is the first east-west alley south of Vine Street from the east right-of-way of 20th Street east to the first north-south alley for a distance of 133.5 feet and a width of 14 feet.
Thank you.
Mr. Councilman, I would move that this be passed with the condition that the agreement between, or a note or an agreement between the city clerk's office to make complete the transaction.
Okay. Do we have a second? Okay.
I'm trying to figure this one out. I'm sorry.
So,
if IUSB says that they don't want it to happen, he has to go back all through the whole entire process all over again?
No, then we would have to go back to it. IUSB was provided properly notice
on multiple occasions.
And all this is a note that with regard to the parking, that's the only thing that's in
MOU.
To the IUSB from the city?
No, with regard to this developer and the parking. As the representative pointed out, the Lot 24 appears to address some of those concerns, but it did not have direct effect
on the vacation request.
I still don't have it, but go ahead.
The citizens' concerns have been addressed. The citizens' concerns have been addressed. We're closing the alley on 21st, which was the citizens' concerns. And the entrance into the parking lot will be off of 20th, which is what the citizens were concerned because there's parking on both sides. It's a very narrow street, and so the citizens didn't want traffic.
However, we would like closure with regard to the issue raised involving our South End.
But that's my issue, and I thought that's what we were talking about, so I'm clear now. But they never showed up. They never participated. And so it's just going to be common practice when someone doesn't want to participate in the process that we hold up or do MOUs or whatever because they don't want to participate. I'm not saying IOSB is not a good neighbor, none of that. I'm saying the process of which we are applying here and being fair and order and decent. Do we continue to hold open votes? Do we continue to hold meetings and extend meetings and just whatever else to people who do not want to participate? Because I've never seen us practice in such a way that we've had so many meetings for one person or one individual or one organization, and we still continue to reach out and say, hey, we want you to be here. If they knew to be here, and they should have been here. And I don't want that to be a problem later on in the future when it becomes to an individual. I want everybody to have the same I want it to be equal across the board.
Expectation.
There is not an undue burden that is being placed on IU South Bend or the petitioner by the motion that Dr. Carter has made. If anyone believes that they have been harmed in any way, they have a 30-day period to file action based on what the council does this evening after there's legal advertisement by the city clerk.
I would point out that a conditional acceptance was offered by the petitioner as being accepted.
No, I was just asking. I didn't get all that, and I just want to make sure that when we do this next time, if somebody doesn't show up and it's 3 or 4 different times, that we give them the same. That's all I'm saying.
Each one's separate.
I want everybody to be the same.
I second Dr. Varner's motion.
Clerk Woody, can you please take the roll?
Mr. Scott? Aye. Mr. Henry? Mrs. Shea?
Aye.
Dr. Furley?
Aye.
Dr. Varner?
Aye.
Vice President Dieter? Aye. Mr. Furley? Aye. Council Member White?
Aye.
President Davis?
Aye. Thank you, sir. Now, can you please read 2614?
Third reading on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending Chapter 9, Article 5 of the South Bend Municipal Code by including the new Section 9-30 entitled Limited Fee Exemptions for Emergencies involving the local units of government governed by mutual aid agreement.
Thank you. Mr. Woody, could you please take the roll?
Mr. Henry Day. Aye. Mrs. Shea.
Aye.
Dr. Furley.
Aye.
Dr. Varner.
Aye.
Vice President Dieter. Aye. Mr. Furley. Aye. Council Member White.
Aye.
Mr. Scott. Aye. President Davis.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, sir. And now could you please read Bill 2914?
Third reading on the bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, authorizing various city departments to accept payments by certain financial instruments, including bank card and credit card, and to authorize fee and establish procedures for such usage.
Thank you.
Move for passage of Bill 29-14.
Please take the roll.
Mrs. Shea.
Aye.
Dr. Furley.
Aye.
Dr. Varner.
Aye.
Vice President Dieter. Aye. Mr. Furley.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Mr. Scott. Aye. Mr. Henry Davis. President Davis.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now moving down to resolutions. Could you please read Resolution 1441?
A resolution confirming the adoption of a declaratory resolution designating certain areas within the city of South Bend, Indiana, commonly known as 2115 West Western Avenue, to be an economic revitalization area for purposes of a 5-year real property tax abatement for IRBN Inc.
Thank you, Kerry. Our presenter. Please state your name and address and share your thoughts.
Council Trustee, City of South Bend, 14th floor building. Before you is a confirming resolution to provide your personal property tax payment for IRBN. It's estimated they will invest $620,000 in equipment. Taxes abated are estimated to be $25,029. Taxes paid over the 5 years since $28,096. This project is estimated to create 5 jobs and retain 9 jobs. And a member of our is here to talk about it.
Please come forward. Please state your name and address and present.
2115 West Western Avenue. First of all, I want to thank the council for giving us the opportunity to be in front of you and have this opportunity for these tax abatements. Where my son and I own the company, I'm very, very pleased to be part of South Bend and in an area in the Western Corridor, and hopefully that revitalization of that area. We plan on doing immense improvements on the building. It's been there for many, many years. An old antique sort of place where Singer sewing machines, cabinets used to be made. So it's a very impressive old building that obviously needs a lot of tender loving care, and we plan on doing that and utilizing that space to supply food and other items to a lot of the food banks in Indiana and surrounding states to give them better cost of goods on the products that they're purchasing so that they can buy more goods and supply more food to people in need. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we would like to open up for public. Those from the public would like to speak in favors. Please come forth, share your thoughts. Those from the opposition would like to come forward. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Council, what are your recommendations?
Adoption.
Second.
Mr. Woody, please take the roll.
Dr. Furlick.
Aye.
Dr. Barner.
Aye.
Vice President Dieter.
Aye.
Mr. Furlick.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Mr. Scott.
Aye.
Mr. Henry Davis. Mrs. Shea.
Aye.
And President Davis.
Aye. And welcome to the 6th District. Cool. Alrighty. A resolution. No, that's my across the street. Oh, that's me. Okay. A resolution. 1442.
A resolution confirming the adoption of a declaratory resolution designating certain areas within the city of South Bend, Indiana, commonly known as 2115 West Western Avenue, as an economic revitalization area for purposes of a 2-year real property tax abatement for Vita Realty LLC.
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, Council. Again, property 14-4 of this building is South Bend. This is actually just a piggyback off of previous tax abatement. This is for the 2-year real property tax abatement for the real tax abated period of up to $13,187, and the taxes to be paid are estimated to be $7,592. And the petitioner is also here if you'd like any additional comments or any additional questions. Thank you, Council, for your consideration.
None. Any additional comments? You are good? Alrighty. We'll now open up to the public. All those who would like to speak in favor, please come forth. Those who would like to speak in opposition, please come forth. Public hearing is closed. Council, what's your pleasure?
For adoption.
Second. Mr. Woody, please take the roll.
Dr. Barner.
Aye.
Vice President Dieter.
Aye.
Mr. Furlick.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Mr. Scott.
Aye.
Mr. Henry Davis.
Aye.
Mrs. Shea.
Aye.
Dr. Furlick.
Aye.
And President Davis.
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you. Alrighty. Could you please read Resolution 1443, Mr. Woody?
A resolution confirming the adoption of a declaratory resolution designating certain areas within the city of South Bend, Indiana, commonly known as 1902 West Temple, as an economic revitalization area for purposes of a 5-year personal property tax abatement for Lippert Components Manufacturing, Inc.
Yes. Good.
Good evening again, Council. Before you is confirming a resolution for a 5-year personal property tax abatement for Lippert Components. As expected, estimated, I should say, that Lippert will invest $1.3 million in new equipment over the next 2 years. This will create roughly 200 new jobs over the next 2 years, and annual payroll is estimated to be payroll created. A member from Liver Components is here.
200 or 300 yards. He said 300 the other day. Okay, cool. Is there a question from my council that needs to be double checked?
He said
Double check.
I think that.
Yeah, double check. Double check. Just double check.
300, 3 years. 2 years. Nice, it's clean less.
Double check. Double check. It might be a triple check. I know.
So that's why I remembered it.
Could you enlighten us what's going on? Double check.
Captain Stacy, Fairleigh Council Attorney, I'm just double checking the key number on this one.
Okay, thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to guess.
Moving target.
Right, but now it's probably 6 months from now. So
Pardon me?
About 220. But their problem is they're hooked to that tax abatement, so they lose. They don't produce.
Question of
Actually works the other day back though. Now what percentage I don't know.
Councilmember, I'd like to ask that you appear at this one at the end of the resolution so that we can go on file and see what the numbers in the offices.
So move. Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let's move forward. Okay, we'll come back to that one. All righty. Mr. Woody, could you please read Resolution 1444?
A resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend designating a certain area within the City of South Bend, Indiana, commonly known as 1020 St. Peter Street, as a residentially distressed area for purposes of a 5-year residential real property tax abatement for Robert and Catherine Kosler.
Thank you, sir. Now we would like to hear a report from Councilman Gavin Phillips regarding the community investment.
Community investment sends us forward favorably.
Thank you. We would like to have a presenter. Hi.
Good evening. Brian Gates, City of South Bend, 444. This is a designating resolution for a personal property tax, a real property tax abatement, residential real property tax abatement. It will roughly abate roughly $1,800. The taxes paid over the 5-year period will be roughly $50,000. The auditor of Catherine Kosler are here to answer any additional questions.
Thank you, Rachel. Please state your name and share your thoughts.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. I'm Catherine Kosler. My husband Ron Kosler. We live at 1234 North Eddy Street. We recently moved here from Columbus, Ohio. We're excited to be part of the planning to build a 2-story house with
Buckeyes.
You're never Buckeyes.
I'm telling you, just got to change the name. I'm telling you. I'm just
We're looking to build a 2-story traditional type home as part of a revitalization of the area. Approximately 8 rooms, 2 bedrooms, a couple bathrooms.
Trying to still digest what you said, but that's okay. Go ahead. Yeah. Any questions for this non-Buckeye? Yes.
Since I was born in Cleveland. You did tell your husband this is a 5-year, not a 1-year, like on the, okay.
All right. Seeing no more questions, we'll go to our public. Anybody from the public would like to speak in favor? Anybody would like to speak in opposition? Seeing none, public is closed.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Mr. Woody, would you please take the roll?
Vice President, aye. Mr. Furley. Aye. Councilmember White.
Aye.
Mr. Scott. Aye. Mr. Henry Davis.
Aye.
Mrs. Shea.
Aye.
Dr. Furley.
Aye.
Dr. Barnes.
Aye.
President Davis.
Ms. Buckeye votes aye. Buckeye was a good one. All right, thank you. You passed. All right. Can you please read Resolution 1445?
A resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend designating certain areas within the City of South Bend, Indiana, commonly known as 211 West Washington Street, an economic revitalization area for purposes of a 4-year real property tax abatement for the Tower at Washington Square, LLC.
Thank you. Can we have a report from our council?
Yes, community investment sends us forward favorably.
Thank you, Councilman Froelich. Now, our presenter.
Good evening again, Council Roxy, City of South Bend, 14th floor. Many of you know this is the Chase Tower building. It is expected or estimated that petitioner will invest $3 million over the next 2 years. Taxes to be abated over that time period. A 4-year time period will be about $40,091. Taxes to be paid roughly $1,170,145. It is expected to create 1 job, retain 18 jobs. Andrew Nemeth is
Thank you. Mr. Nemeth, could you please give us your address and share your thoughts?
My name is Andrew Nemeth, offices at 211 West Washington Street, Department 14, we're here today to talk about those tax abatements for 211 West Washington Street. In the application we filled out, we anticipate spending between $5 and $6 million for the first 2 years. So those are very much correct. And that committee already, so if anybody has any additional questions, we'll be happy to entertain those.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nemeth. Are there any questions for Mr. Nemeth at this time?
No.
So, no? Thank you. We'll now go to the public. Those from the public would like to speak in favor of this bill. Please, that's 1445. Please come forth. Those who would like to speak in opposition, please come forth. Yes. Before we have our vote, Councilman Davis.
Andrew, you've been over there for quite some time. It's just a real quick question. How many businesses were lost or have moved out since this whole Chase Tower thing came to a head a couple years ago?
That I could not tell you off the top of my head. Years ago, the occupancy of the outside building was over just around 91% at present, about 50%.
So we lost a considerable amount of businesses out of the downtown area.
Well, we've lost some.
Some are relocated.
The reason over here is because we're renewing the investment in the South Bend and we're turning the thing around.
Well, definitely. I was just looking for some numbers because at one point in time we were told to wait it out, and I was just wondering what was lost in between, or if anything.
Hopefully we hit the bottom and make it fix.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, what's the pleasure of this council?
For adoption.
Second. Mr. Wood, would you please take the roll?
Mr. Furley. Aye. Councilmember White.
Aye, with thanks.
Mr. Scott.
Aye, and thanks.
Mr. Henry Davis.
Aye.
Mrs. Shea.
Aye.
Dr. Furley.
Aye, and thank you.
Dr. Varner.
Aye.
Vice President Peter. Aye. And President Davis.
Thank you, and aye.
That would be 9 ayes.
All righty. Thank you. We now would like for Mr. Wood to read Bill 1446.
A resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving the issuance of bonds of the South Bend Redevelopment District.
Thank you. We would like to hear a report from Councilman Froelich.
Community investment sends us forward favorably.
Thank you. Now, we would like to hear our presenter. Please state your name and address and share your thoughts.
Council members, Joe Casetta from Barnes & Thornburg, 100 Mission Street.
Thank you.
The resolution that's before you is required by Indiana law. It was a bond resolution adopted by the South Bend Redevelopment Commission on Thursday last week, approving its refinancing of 2002 redevelopment district bonds. Those bonds are outstanding in principal amount of $3,405,000, and originally in 2002 it launched with the TJX warehouse project.
Those funds have, during the life of the fund, the principal amount is fully dedicated from the allocation areas for the training facility, which is now the airport ticket. It's anticipated that the refunding bonds will continue to be refinancing should result in a significant savings. It's anticipated that the net present value savings will be significant, something north or more than $200,000. It's more than that. Refinancing it. Savings will be that's correct. The bonds are sold in the marketplace, which is anticipated to take place within the next quarters. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm not going to ask that once it's all that.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Fazette? This time? Seeing none? Decide? Thank you. Now I'd like to take this to the public. Those in the public like to speak in favor, please come forth. Those in the public would like to speak in opposition, please come forth. The public hearing is now closed. Mr. Wood, would you please take the
Councilmember White. Go back to that one. Mr. Scott. Aye. Mr. Henry Davis. Aye. Mrs. Shea.
Aye.
Dr. Furlick. Aye. Dr. Bonner. Aye. Vice President Deere. Aye. Mr. Furlick. Aye. President Davis.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now could you please read Bill 1449?
The resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, calling for a creative and sustainable initiatives addressing more comprehensive programming, youth unemployment, and entrepreneur programs.
Thank you. Can we have a report from Councilwoman Valerie Shea from Personnel Finance?
Thank you, President Davis. Personnel and Finance met earlier today and sends Bill 1449 to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Now can we have our presenter, Mr. Councilman Henry Davis?
Mr. Hassan.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Davis, Henry Davis Jr., 5117 Iowa Drive, South Bend, Indiana. Council members, colleagues, friends and family, folks in the public. Before you, what I am asking for, and I think that what I'm going to do is probably get into the resolution so we know what we're talking about. Whereas the Federal Bureau of Labor Statistics unemployment rate for the metropolitan areas monthly ranking shows that South Bend, Mishawaka, Indiana metropolitan statistical area has 7.6 unemployment rate. However, the unemployment insurance have extended, resulting in even in a higher percentage. I want you to pay attention to that 7.6. The 7.6 is only contingent on folks who are able to still file for unemployment. If we've been paying attention to Congress and their actions, folks have not been able to obviously get their unemployment extended. So that number is a lot higher than what is being reported. Whereas in the 44-page January 2014 publication entitled "In This Together," the hidden cost of young adult unemployment, many alarming facts were highlighted, some of which were included in the following. Millennials aged 18 to 34 have now seen double-digit unemployment rates for over 70 consecutive months. Second bullet point, the youngest workers aged 16 to 24 are even worse off, with unemployment rates well over twice the national average at 15%. Third bullet point, one unemployed 18 to 24-year-old will cost the federal and respective state government over $4,100 annually in foregone tax revenue and benefits received. Fourth point, each unemployed 25 to 34-year-old will cost his or federal and state government a staggering $9,875 annually. And whereas the Common Council recognizes that Young Invincibles, who authored the above reference publication, is a nonprofit organization which seeks to amplify the voices of young Americans and expand opportunity, who were hosted by South Bend in 2012. They came here on National Bus Tour to talk about youth unemployment. Whereas, unfortunately, many of the findings in Young Invincibles report are also being witnessed in the city of South Bend with far too high unemployment rate of youth and limited effective programs in place that address these growing concerns. And whereas many of the policy recommendations set forth in this together, the hidden cost of young adult unemployment, such as expanding paid services in order to reconnect young adults to the labor force, reinstating grant programs, providing apprenticeship programs, and creating career internships are recommendations which should be pursued. Now, therefore, let it resolved by the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana as follows. Section 1. The Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana believes that addressing the following priorities will help jumpstart needed opportunities for unemployed youth in our community. Building stronger partnerships with South Bend Community School Corporation, and therefore recommends that a collaborative efforts are being pursued so that the following objectives may become reality. Number 1. The additional revenue be dedicated to the Martin Luther King Center and to the Charles Black Center for more comprehensive programming, entrepreneurial programming opportunities. Number 2, the expanded partnership between the City of South Bend, Indiana, the City of South Bend, Indiana, and the South Bend Community School Corporation be pursued, which include, but are not limited to, open access to gymnasiums and swimming pools, access to computer labs, and developing vocational trade programs. Number 3, that a summer jobs program for youth be expanded to provide year-round internships. Number 4, that the City of South Bend could create a local citywide experience that will share information on key city services and provide opportunities to build partnerships with residents and businesses moving into the City of South Bend. Section 2, the resolution shall be in full force and effect and is adopted by the council and approval by the mayor. And before we get there, President Davis, I want to go back into what we talked about earlier really quick. The City of South Bend has seen a fair share of violence over the last several months. We have seen over 30 shootings. We recognize that the Charles Black Center and Martin Luther King Center hold 3 to 4 full-time positions of employees at each recreational center. There's a number of part-time employees, but we want to talk about the full-time employees. We're looking at a summer that appears to be not going into best conditions right now. So what we are looking to do, or what I'm requesting is that, and you see with Deputy Mayor Mark Neal, what we really wanted to do, and what we're asking to have happen is that now we only recognize those things are issues in our community. We want to recognize as well the Croc Center themselves are raising their fees and rates. So there is a potential overflow of children that may end up at these facilities. They already have an overflow of 150 kids per day at these facilities. So it will behoove us for us not to participate and make sure that they are fully staffed and they're fully funded for the course of the summer months. And as we move forward, begin to have these conversations about how we can bring youth employment into this area and make sure that our kids are learning what job skills are available and what job skills they should actually have in order to be positive citizens in the community. Again, is this a response to the violence in the community? No, it's a way of providing opportunity and options to our children in the community so that they'll show a part of the community so they're less likely to participate in violent activity. And so, with that presentation, I ask for your favorable support.
Okay. Mr. Phil St. Clair is here too. Are you going to let me share some words?
I'm sorry?
Mr. Phil St. Clair?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sure, let me check. He came around. Mark, I'm Phil.
I'll just start with again, Mark Neal, Deputy Mayor of Washington, working for this building. First, I want to thank Councilmember Davis. Council President Albert Davis and the LJ for bringing this resolution forward. We've had discussions that we are excited about the programs that we have going on, a number of our centers. The idea of looking at expansion of programs and some pilot programs are already going on. We're certainly supportive of demonstrating, and we look to find funding available to see if we can extend some of the programs further, as we also look at some additional programs within the MOK as well as the general practice.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. My name is Phil St. Clair. I'm the Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation for the City of South Bend, in the office of 321 in South Street, South Bend, Indiana. I would also just like to hear what Mayor Mark Neal said. We certainly support any effort that we can to help kids, community, at King and Cross Black Center, or for any center for that fact. Every kid in the community support us. So we would support any bill that would help us funds to be able to program additional kids in the community. We do have some very creative programs going on right now. Staff came in South Center, our senior receptive and overflow kids. Very busy with the doing program in camp. Certainly one of the things we want to focus on is looking at today's program in the evening. Kids have that free time. That seems to be we have a lot of issues in the community, so we have to find ways funds available facilities to utilize this program evening out. So again, just welcome my neighbors for bringing this up to the council, and we support it ourselves with the other council administration activities program.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the council at this time? Okay, Councilman Dieter.
Just in regards to the legal aspect of additional funding, this, what we talked about, Councilman Davis and the committee, this can be used all over the city as soon as there is some type of plan developed. Is that?
And if a new appropriation would be needed, that would have to be initiated by the city council. This allows the collaboration to
Right, okay.
go forward.
Right.
Okay. Councilman White and then Verlick.
I just want to have clarification, just listening to Councilmember Davis. It's my understanding that 2 centers were identified, those centers being Charles Martin and Charles Black Center. In regards as we move forward, the first priority would be these 2 centers.
The first priority is these 2 centers that I stated here. Look, I'm just looking for an investment to our using these particular centers because of the numbers they have. These are like the only 2 centers in the city that operates in this manner. The other ones are more fee-based programming. So there's a difference in how the programming is delivered to the community. I think we have 3 recreational centers here. I think Orion, I know Charles Black, Martin Luther King Center. I'm not sure that there's not another one. So what I'm looking at is this is at the heart of what our priorities have been for a number of years, and making sure that the investment into our youth that's going to happen.
Okay, Councilman Frolick.
Sure. Certainly support increased programming for youth during the summer. Just had one question. Section 1, number 4, city welcome wagon experience. I'm unfamiliar with that concept. Is that something?
Well, it's something that has happened in the past. So what I think that we can do is start bridging these gaps with communication and people knowing what's going on and how it happens, what programs are out there for the kids or even for, seniors and they move here.
Promotional.
It's being able to promote exactly what the city is doing and where it's actually happening at. Again, those bullet points that you're telling me, we'll go back into a committee session to, obviously sharpen them out and see how we can begin and partner with, different organizations within the community so all of these things can be hashed out and actually be implemented within the city. So, yeah, that was something the city used to do. However, I don't know if we need to do the same thing all over again or pull from it and create our own.
Thank you. Okay. Now we'd like to open this up to the public. Those who would like to speak in favor, please come forth, share your name, address, and share your thoughts. You have how many minutes? 5 minutes. Councilman Scott, could you please time?
Yes, and I'll tell you about 1 minute before your time is up.
Thank you.
Johnson, 1454 46617. What someone was talking to me about children's law school, and I am a member, one of the founding members of the Brothers Kids Golf League. And this way had asked us, someone that said us, would we help at Charles Black. So she was supposed to contact our president, Mr. Johnson. I really don't know how to the right spot. You're not just, I just want to be like, see, it's just a out the walls and you get back. But just in case it bothers, I want to do so.
As a matter of fact, I am from the Denver myself and cold and the topic of the coffee. So if they want us, our help, we'll be glad to help us. Our president step in.
I'm sure they appreciate it. Thank you. Hello.
My name is Isaac Hunt. I live at 136 Fairway. I work with a lot of the youth in the city of South Bend, ranging from the ages, 18 to 35, who are in a lot of different areas as far as some in violence and some are not, some visiting school and some are not. I've been working down at the Charles Martin Center Park for the last 1.5 in the May Dance program, the most common Jason Jordan. I went down there and spoke the other day, last week. There were 75 people in the building. And just to hear what the program and the way in which the program is running. It's an outstanding program that really need more funding. And if they had more funding and more staff, you could really see a difference in probably some of a lot of money. To be able to hear them talk about responsibility, talk about youth education, talk about what it is to be a man, be a woman, use basketball as the liaison to be able to put them in, to be able to address these type of issues, to talk to them, hear them talk about work ethic, responsibilities to their parents and their mothers. This is something that we need in all of our community centers. To not fund this or to not expand it. I come from the senior program where we cut grass around the city, where we made money in the summertime, and they allowed me to be able to buy tennis shoes and different things for school the following year. Not only was I too tired to get into trouble, I learned to work ethic, learned about responsibility, learned about picking corn, seeing cows that I never would have seen if I wouldn't have been part of the program. So these are the type of things that the city really needs because our youth has nowhere to go. Most of the youth that I talk to, and I ask them, why are you out here? They say they have nothing to do. So as a city and a community, we have an obligation and responsibility to grow our kids in the way they should go. And our obligation and responsibility is that we have these type of vehicles to fund them so that we can kind of mentor them in the way they should go. And I ask that you guys give us a resolution in favor and look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Charles W. Taylor, and I live at 3803 same type of code for South Bend, Indiana, 46. But I rose to not only support this, but I asked for an amendment to be made also to include heroes. And I didn't hear what the funding was going to be, but we need good funding for this because this is really going to help our youth. It's going to keep crime down. And when the kids don't have anything to do, the first thing they do is get in trouble. The Word of God says, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he's old, he won't depart from it. So I'm asking that you would support this, that you would also include Hero Company because they've been doing a real good job. And I just thank you because I believe you'll do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Felisa Williams, and I work for the South Bend Community School Corporation. My current address is 1338 Johnson Street, which I live in an area that is very high in crime. A lot of students that are on the street, children that are anywhere from 12 to 25, roaming. And what I do is, being that I've been in the school corporation for 9.5 years, I try to encourage my students to be positive, but it's hard to encourage them when they have no outlet in their own community. It is very sad. I've seen people shot at in my area. Nothing's been done. But the main thing is, with this year bill, I feel this would take our area to a greater level, more positivity. The children will have an outlet to go to at the Charles Black or the Charles Martin Center. And I support all community centers. But this is such a darn need in my area because I have so many children that just ask me, they say, Mrs. Williams, what can I do? I have nowhere to go. There is nothing for me to do. I don't have no other alternative but to go on the street and try to make a little money. And it's sad. And my heart pours out to each of our parents and our youth. And we need this. And all we are asking you to do is support our area. I live at 1338 Johnson Street. And it's not a bad area. They know I don't take no stuff. Okay? They know me. The children know me. They say, I'm over there messing with that old woman. I said, well, I'm only 29. But the thing is, I encourage them each and every day. I do an after-school program through Title I. Right now, I got 20 students. I had 13. I'm teaching Algebra 1 and 2 and language arts and reading to get them up and prepared for their EPA testing. Because some of them are failing. And if they don't take it, they will not graduate. And yes, the rate is very high for dropouts. But I encourage them. I also tutor at no cost because I want to see our students be successful. But it's hard to encourage them when they don't have an outlet. So please, I hope you support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jesse Nicholas, Jill Box, Kempfield, White South, and Indiana. Obviously, myself and other people have come up here and complained about money that was spent on what we call pet projects. So if we can find sources of funding to rebuild the Covalescent Stadium, and it gets sold, we can find sources to do two-way streets. We can sure dig up sources to fund projects that are going to keep our youth off of the street. Idle minds are dangerous minds in a lot of cases. I just left the school board meeting, that's why I came here late. I took an issue there for the school board about a safety issue in one of our schools here in South Bend. Another lady came up with another issue from the South Bend school, which was a safety concern, and it involved a special needs child. When we were done speaking during their privilege of the floor, whatever they call it, Roger Parent speaks up and says, I am tired of you people coming to our school board meetings and running our school system down and talking about the violence and how bad our school system is. I think we're safe. Well, come on, let's get real. That's like the police chief saying we have groups here causing all this violence. Let's call it what it is. Our schools may be safe the majority of the time, but we've got issues. We've got issues in the streets. So any program that's going to help keep our youth off the streets needs to be supported, no matter where we find the funding from. It's got to be supported.
Thank you.
Anthony Scott, 214 North City Street. Thank God for Facebook. I would not have known about this meeting. I was invited by my councilman, Councilman Davis, and the one word that I knew very little about it until I heard him read it, but what struck my mind was entrepreneurship. And that's something that, especially for the young African American males especially, because many of them are going to have trouble getting jobs. But I'm going to be retired from South Bend Community School Corporation when school's out. 25 years of driving a school bus.
Wow.
And believe me, I've seen some things, and I've seen some young people turn around, so I know we can turn them around. Martin Luther King Center and the Charles Black Center have done a tremendous job, but it needs to be able to do more, and in order to do more, it's going to take some funding. So I ask council to please look favorably on this, and guess what? I'm going to be a volunteer. You know, it's nothing like skills. It's nothing like learning how to be able to do something with your hands. In fact, I'm really treated. I look back here and I see an entrepreneur. It can happen. It can really happen, but we need the support. I can't think of any two better places in the city than Martin Luther King Center and the Charles Black Center to get this program down. Councilman Davis, thank you. Got my support, and I intend to be able to put some hours in there. We can make a difference, believe me. I remember once on the playground, in the parking lot, I said, if our youth are going to choose guns, let us
helped them to choose the right guns. And they were a paint gun, a caulking gun, a spray gun, a staple gun. You'd be surprised what can happen when we can get them to just turn it around a little bit.
Well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay.
David Pruitt, I stay at 3706 West Jefferson, on the lake, where the Charles Black Center is. We have a lot of things going on. I'm right across the street from the South Park homes, so I see a lot of different things going on with the young kids in my neighborhood. I'm an entrepreneur myself, like Brian, both own homes. We're trying to build up the community, trying to buy these vacant homes. And at the same time, I started a law service. So in the summertime, I got someone to work on my law service, trying to work with me so I can teach them a few things. I'm very, everybody at the Charles Black Center, I know, my family works there, and we do need funding. So that I can come in and try to build programs myself, you know, and ask other entrepreneurs to do the same thing that I'm doing, to try to help these youth to keep them off. You know, I was a victim of a bullet. I took a bullet walking out of my house, you know, because somebody else was shooting. So I see this every day, and I've been through it myself. So I can tell you what it is, not anything that I heard. So I'm just asking that you do accept this bill and go through this fund so that we can make this change.
Thank you. Couple more. Those who'd like to speak in this room, we'll take these last two. Unless anybody else? Anybody else? Two. These last two. Thank you.
Robert Emery, 4231 Irish Hills Drive. I'm here to support Henry Davis in this bill that he put forward. We need a lot of funding in these issues. Because if we don't fund these initiatives for after-school programs, we're going to wind up funding it one way or another, because if they don't have these programs, they're going to wind up in jail or someplace like that, and we're going to wind up funding it one way or another. So it would be in our best interest as a city to fund on the front end and show that our passion as a people in the city, in the city of South Bend, we can show that we care about our city.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Henry Jeweler from 1240 Van Street. I'm from now I live on the West Side area. I do stay in the heart of the violence, like my house is right in the middle of the violent areas, left and right side. I am agreeing with Henry on this, but I think the funds should be to any organization that deals with kids, not just no particular place, because everybody needs it in every area, not just the West Side area. I know that's the high crime area right now, but I also am a mother of the inner city. I have 5 children in my own, one is deceased, so 6 total. And what I see is my own kids and their friends, because I work with the ages of 12 to 18, and I also founded my own program called the Single Mom Heart Program. And what our program is going to do is go into the inner city to give resources to the mothers who really, really need help. It's a lot of that, and half of the boys that involved in the violence come from single-parent homes, no father, and then the mothers really struggle. So the boys watch their mother struggle, they become angry at the struggle, and then they go out to the city and do things. Now, the different places to go, Charles Black Center, all of that is real good. But we want the workers out here on the streets as well. So if these places can provide, get the funds to pay workers to go out there and talk to these mothers, to introduce their programs to the mothers, so we can see exactly where the funds are going. We got a lot of community groups. A lot of people talk down on the community groups, but don't want to come and sit in the community groups to hear the issues that's really going on. People United for a Better Government. I mean, there's people that we see out here. We need to see some people out here to save our kids, because we don't want them, we can work with them before they get to the Charles Black Center or the King Center. They can respect the center. A lot of kids will come into the center, but they will disrespect the center because they're so torn.
So when the money is funded for these programs, please put the workers out on the street first to kind of guide these kids into what the program has to offer instead of just throwing them in because they bring a lot of issues in and then we're dealing with corruption in the program. So we can just get that together first, get the funds out, and then start the parent relationships back with it. Then it'll go much, much smoother, and I believe the community will get cleaned up. We got a lot of people out here now trying to step up to the plate, start a lot of organizations, doing a lot of things in the community to rebuild the relationships back up. And I think once the relationships back up, then our money is not going away. Because right now, we can spend a lot of money on this, and we can get this approved, and I really do hope that it does. But we need some workers really out on the street to build relationships back up with our children.
Thank you. Anyone would like to come up and speak in opposition for this bill? Seeing none, what is the pleasure of this adoption?
Second.
Mr. Woody, would you please take the roll?
Mr. Scott? Aye. Mr. Henry Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Shea?
Aye.
Dr. Furr? Aye. Dr. Varner?
Aye.
Vice President Dieter? Aye. Mr. Furler? Aye. Councilmember White?
Aye.
And President Davis?
Aye.
Aye.
At this time, we would like to go back to, thank you. Okay. We would like to go back to Bill 1443. We've already read it. And now we would like to go back to, yeah, we did have the public, I think we had the public hearing too. We didn't? Yes, we did. I thought so. So the issue now comes to our council for a clarification.
Yes, thank you for your patience. We have double-checked 1443 and we may move forward on that. However, at the close of that particular bill, we do need to have a motion to reconsider a prior bill. So you may go forward on 1443.
Do you want to word it the way you want to word it?
It's correct as is, that one.
Okay. But we need to have another motion after this motion?
Yes.
Motion to adopt?
Second. Okay, Mr. Woody, would you please take the roll?
Mr. Henry Davis?
Aye.
Mrs. Shea?
Aye.
Dr. Furler? Aye. Dr. Varner?
Aye.
Vice President Dieter? Mr. Furler? Aye. Councilmember White?
Aye.
Mr. Scott? Aye. And President Davis?
Aye. Now back to our council.
At this time, I would like the council to entertain a motion to reconsider bill number 1442.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Wood, would you put?
No.
One foot, okay. All moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
At this time, there is an incorrect key number in bill 1442, and I would like to read the correct key number for the whereas clause to read as follows. The number should be 0184-096-358101.
What is that?
That's a key number. Key number that should be
The parcel.
42.
Okay.
And that whereas clause to correct it.
So moved. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, saying it is carried.
So we need a motion to adopt.
Correct.
For the adopted amended version.
Second. All in favor, say, now we need to vote. Mr. Roy.
Yes.
Okay, Mrs. Shea?
Aye.
Dr. Furler?
Aye.
Dr. Varner?
Aye.
Vice President Dieter? Aye. Mr. Furler? Aye. Councilmember White?
Aye.
Mr. Scott? Aye. Mr. Henry Davis? Aye. And President Davis?
Aye. Council, are we clear on everything now? Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Okay, now, Mr. Woody, could you have first reading to Bill 3114?
First reading on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending various sections in Article 10 of Chapter 14 of the South Bend Municipal Code addressing smoke-free air regulations.
President Davis, I ask that this bill be sent to the Health and Public Safety Committee for a 5/12 hearing and second and third reading that evening.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, the same sign. It is carried. In terms of the unfinished business, could I have a motion on Bill 2414 and 2514?
Yes.
I make a motion that these bills be set for a hearing on May 12th.
The zoning and annexation.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Thank you. Now we need a recommendation on Bill 1447.
Make a motion to send 1447 to community investment for second, third read, for committee, for 512.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. It was carried. All righty. We don't have any place to old business. Anything else? New business? Nothing? New business? Any new business that needs to come before? That's tonight. Anything else, Mr. Tim?
No, I don't.
Well, it doesn't matter. We're going to get another business card.
Just real quick, I'd like to thank the City of South Bend Solid Waste Code Enforcement, Mark Neal, Mayor's Office, over 200 volunteers, Chamber of Commerce, leadership group, many residents of the Near Northwest for coming out and actually grassroots cleaning 200 city blocks on Saturday, and solid waste, picking everything up from yard waste to trash that was collected by everybody. We had members from the clerk's office and city council, Derek Dieter, Gavin Furlick, Fred Furlick, myself out. Once again, just a successful program to get volunteers out and make a difference in the city.
Good job. Good job. Okay. Anything else that's old business that we need to highlight? Okay. Seeing none, new business. I was in that. Councilman Davis, you were sharing?
No, I was telling you that he was trying.
Okay. Any other new business then? Fine. And now, this time we have our privilege of the floor. Our privilege of the floor gives us 3 minutes for you to talk on a topic. I'd like to ask Councilman Tim Scott to monitor the 3 minutes again. And those who would like to speak, please come forth, line up if you can, and proceed.
Items not on the agenda.
Items that are not listed on the agenda. If we've already discussed any part, whether it was the first reading, second reading, or third reading, we'll deal with those later. But anything that we did not discuss tonight.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Are you coming forward? Okay.
My name is Jody Elizabeth, company in
Pardon me?
It's on the agenda.
I'm with Mecca Company.
For?
Well, and I'm sorry, I'm new to the company and I'm in the community relations, and I just wanted to introduce myself and thank you so much for your help with us getting out there and preparing students in life, and we're just really excited to be here.
Welcome. Welcome. Thank you. Motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Yeah.